The Earth has a negative charge, and when your skin comes in contact with the Earth, it allows the Earth's negatively charged free electrons to draw into the body. I'm going to take this foot and put it right behind me on the ground. In your home, the grounding wire connects directly into the Earth. Because of the Earth's negative electrical properties, it's able to discharge excess electricity. The current flowing in our bodies is also alternating current, or AC, and we are constantly surrounded by dirty electricity. So what can we do? The answer is simple. Get in contact with the ground. Take your shoes off and stand on it. The dirt, the grass, a rock, the sand, the concrete, or even hug a tree. Studies show that 30 minutes a day of grounding can have amazing results on your health and helping your body to synchronize with the natural frequencies of the Earth. Some health benefits include reduced inflammation and pain, better sleep, improved response to trauma and injuries, improved blood flow, reduced blood viscosity, and accelerated wound healing. Grounding can even reduce stress and cortisol levels. Watch as I take my foot, put it in. These photos are of an 8-month-old non-healing open wound suffered by an 84-year-old diabetic woman. Figure A shows the open wound and a pale gray hue to the skin. Figure B was taken 1 week after grounding or earthing treatments and shows a marked level of healing and improvement in circulation. Figure C is taken 2 weeks of earthing treatments, shows the wound healed over and the skin color looking dramatically healthier. Treatment consisted of daily 30-minute grounding sessions with an electrode patch while the patient was seated comfortably. Let's look at some inflammation differences. Panel A shows reduction in inflammation from sleeping grounded. Medical infrared imaging shows warm and painful areas. Sleeping grounded for 4 nights resolved the pain, and the hot areas cooled. Note the significant reduction in inflammation and a return towards normal thermal symmetry. For some reason, this winter in particularly has been really hard on me, starting actually a few months ago. So I started looking into making some makeshift ways I could get some contact with the ground, since we have 1.5 feet of snow on the ground next to freezing temperatures. I ended up sticking a copper wire in the ground, running it inside the window, and connecting it to a copper bucket. It did the trick just fine, but I wanted it to be a little bit more convenient and maybe something I could do a little bit longer, maybe like a sheet when I slept. At first I was going to design my own, but I started looking around and there's already a few companies that have these sheets, and I reached out to one, Earthing Harmony, and asked them if they'd be willing to send me one of their sheets, and they agreed. The sheets are made from 95% cotton and 5% silver threads. Included with the sheets, you'll have a cord that plugs directly into the ground slot of your outlet. But hold up. Maybe you live in an old house like me that isn't grounded. Or maybe your house was hooked up and it's not grounded correctly. Either way, you need to check to see before using the sheets. Okay, so we're going to test this outlet here in my bedroom with a voltmeter. I'm going to set it to the V with the squiggly line, which is alternating current. If we look at the outlet here, we'll see the short slot 1 is going to be the hot, the long slot 1 is going to be the neutral, and the circle 1 is going to be the ground. You always want to start, when you're measuring this, with the neutral or the ground before you stick in to the hot. So we'll check here first. We should have about 120, 123. Okay, and now I'm going to check my ground. So plug it into here and then there, and you can see this outlet is not grounded. you would not want to use this sheet in this outlet right here. If you don't own a voltmeter, you can also purchase one of these outlet checkers, US, and it just plugs in and it will show you the reading and let you know if your house is grounded. So if your house isn't grounded properly, like mine, you can buy one of these grounding stakes to put in the ground. Even if my house was grounded, I'd still be using one of these. You simply stake it in the ground and run the cord through the window. So I have the ground stake ran outside through the window, and this is the cord, comes up through here. Now you'll see on the sheets that both on the head of the sheets and the feet of the sheets, you'll have this kind of patch here, and it has 2 snaps. So you can snap the grounding cord right onto there, just like that. And the head has them also, so let's say you ran it through the window on the other side of the room, it's just a convenient place. Now there's 2 of these on both sides because you can also ground your pillowcase, which I'll show you here in a second. But just to test this first, we're going to use a voltmeter set on AC. It's the V with the little squiggly line. And I'm going to connect the black lead to the other nipple there. And the red lead, I'm just going to pinch between my fingers like this. We're reading a 0.29 right around there. As soon as I touch the sheet, they should drop to 0. If they drop to 0, that means it's ready to go. And I can move my hand around here. And it's grounded. Okay, so we have the voltmeter here. I've got an alligator clip here for the negative. I'll just attach the ground of the pillowcase. The other one I'm just going to hold between my fingers like this, and you can see we're reading a 0.195. As soon as I touch the pillowcase, it shall drop to 0. And since the sheet is also grounded, touch the sheet. I'm going to burn through a couple more of these studies. I'm only going to read the conclusions, but I will have links below in the description. This one is earthing. The human body reduces blood viscosity, a major factor in cardiovascular disease. The conclusion is that grounding increases the surface charge on RBCs and thereby reduces blood viscosity and clumping. Grounding appears to be one of the simplest and yet most profound interventions for helping reduce cardiovascular risk and cardiovascular events. This one is the biological effects of grounding the human body during sleep as measured by cortisol levels and subjective reporting of sleep, pain, and stress. Conclusion is results indicate that the grounding the human body to the earth during sleep reduces nighttime levels of cortisol and resyncs cortisol hormone secretion more in alignment with the natural 24-hour circadian rhythm profile. In this abstract, 40 adults were either grounded or sham grounded, placebo, for 1 hour while relaxing in a comfortable recliner, equipped with a conductive pillow, mat, and patches connecting them to the ground. Pleasant and positive moves improved among grounded but not sham grounded participants. Prevention and treatment of a special infection by earthing. Conclusion, earthing revealed significant curing and preventative effects with a shorter illness duration. I didn't want to go off into a tangent, but this mystery illness seems to really work wonders, especially with certain individuals where the symptoms never seem to go away. So, according to the SmithsonianMag.com, for nearly 2 centuries, hospital designers had based their layouts on a fundamental assumption. In order to remain disease-free and health-giving, hospital spaces require direct access to sunlight and fresh air. This rule was the product of a centuries-old belief that disease could be spread by, or perhaps even directly caused by, dark, stagnant spaces, where bad air, smelly, vitiated, stagnant, particulate-laden air accumulated. Giving this correlation, before the 20th century, every single room within a hospital typically had access to the outdoors. And even more, the sun. I'm over here at PubMed.com, and it says since the 18th century, tuberculosis has been a major cause of death throughout the world. It is a highly infectious disease that spreads by droplet infections, and finding effective treatment to combat tuberculosis took a great deal of time. One of the first treatments to have some real success was a stay in a sanatorium. Patients built up their sun exposure gradually to prevent sunburn or skin damage. The secret success of its combined effects of sunlight on the skin inducing the production of nitric oxide and vitamin. Nitric oxide is not only a messenger in the cardiovascular system and responsible for relaxation of vascular muscles, but is also involved in the innate immune system. Sunlight and grounding. That could have these kind of results.
It's been 8 days since the sun's been out. I've been counting. Finally came out. A little too cold to take my shoes off. Got my big old rubber boots on. But I just have a little wire staked into the ground here. Just holding it with my hands. Sitting in direct sunlight. They work in harmony.
So back to the sheets. I haven't been sleeping well for the last few months, basically since October. And I'm a hot sleeper, so I usually opt for something like some bamboo sheets, because they're super soft and very comfortable. So since these are made of cotton, the first night, especially that I slept on these, I was pretty hot. But that all subsided after a couple nights. And I noticed that within a few days, I was finally falling asleep faster, sleeping all night long. And I also noticed I began to wake up when the sun was rising. Could a majority of our sickness and illness be remedied with the sun, ground, and what we put in our bodies? I think the answer is obvious, but the future doesn't look too promising. However, if we all come together and realize it's probably a good idea to live in harmony with the earth, rather than trying to turn it into something it's not. It already works, just as it was intended. But that's a whole other topic. I want to thank Earthing Harmony for sending me these sheets, and also put a link to them in the description for you to check out if you're interested, along with a long list of studies and research done on grounding.